Charles Oakley said he is Mariah Carey to the bullshit. He doesn't know you girls.
Und was ist mit J-Lo?
Die kenne ich nicht.
Ups.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for tuning into my video today. I wanted to bring you a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is part 3 of the reunion. We made it. We are here. We are at the end of the season. Before I get into this review, go ahead and hit the like button for me. When you hit the like button, it is a free way to support the channel and also let YouTube know that I'm here and that you all are rocking with my commentary, so YouTube starts to shoot my content out to other viewers. I also have a membership if you would like to support the maintenance of this channel for $5 a month. It will be linked down below. Also, shout out to all of the new subscribers that have been coming in the last couple of weeks. And just shout out to the overall RHOA franchise. This franchise has done the best on my channel out of all of the Bravo series that I've covered. It was my first time ever covering Atlanta. And Scotch Gang, y'all have shown me so much love. Y'all really showed up and showed out for me from day one.
The dog. The dog.
Those day one numbers were different for me. I was like, oh, the girls are tuned in for RHOA. And then I will say this, even though there were times when the season disappointed me, I always found something to come up here and yap about for at least 30 minutes. So shout out to Bravo, shout out to RHOA, and shout out to you, the audience who made the season amazing for me. I really appreciate and love y'all so much.
Thank you, 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 thank you.
Y'all, I thought part 3 was the best. I thought it was fab. I was engaged the whole time. I was here for it, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. We pick up this episode where we left off. Shamea and Porsha are going back and forth, and then it's revealed that Shamea's mother went ahead and purchased Miss Diane's daycare when it went into foreclosure. Did y'all catch the exchange at the beginning when Porsha said, "You're always lying," and Shamea said, "Well, you're always lying too." Two means also. So you're acknowledging your lies. Oh, okay. For the first time, mind you. All right. Shamea is saying that they weren't talking at the time that happened, and Porsha is saying, yes, they were. Again, I don't even know why this was brought to us if the moms are not going to speak on it. Shamea says that the issue was more deep-rooted than that, and that there was another problem that was unresolved. Rodney the Voice had this theory that it was about a nigga. And I agree with that 100%. I know that a man was at the root of this friendship fallout, and that's why it's not being discussed. By the way, I hated the way Shamea's undergarment was hanging out of her dress. I noticed it in the first episode. Andy is saying to both of them, well, clearly there are some things that were said behind each other's back, and then Shamea starts deflecting again and saying that Porsha had a conversation with Britt. No, actually, Britt came and told Porsha about the text messages that you showed her. Are you okay, Shamea? Actually, I know she's not okay, because I saw that recent vlog that she posted where her cousin prayed over her. The fact that she posted and published that to her channel, the fact that her cousin went as far as to compare severing friendships to uncircumcised dick during prayer lets me know that Shamea and her people are completely unwell and unstable.
There are times in our lives that we must cut away. We must circumcise things that are not good. It's almost like a man going through that change with his genitals. You have to cut away that foreskin, that skin that is not good, it's infectious. And you have to say, this is not good for me. Mm-hmm. And it's a spiritual thing. It's more so spiritual than physical. Cutting away those things in our lives that is not good for us to maintain our statute. And this is your season to cut away those things that are not good for you. Circumcision is not easy. It's painful. Think of that man. It's painful. It hurts, but it's all for the good. It's going to make you even stronger. I continue to tell you, this is your season. It is. When it's
Then Andy's asking Shamea, well, do you feel like you can own anything that happened here? And Shamea's like, well, I can own that I brought information back to these ladies, but I feel like I needed a third party there because they were coming to me and telling me things. Again, deflecting, not owning her part in this. What is her problem? I find this woman so irritating. Oh my God. She may even be worse than Porsha. Porsha says that they have a private friend group and two ladies came to her and told her that Shamea was saying that I didn't want her to have a peach. So yeah, Shamea runs around to different people talking about Porsha. And again, it's just very weird to me because on one hand, she wants to appear as though she is Porsha's ride or die and she's her most loyal friend, but she really does this fake ass switch up behind the scenes where she's talking about her, dogging her out, and evil eyeing the shit out of her. Her and Kelly are not to be trusted. They are very much alike in that way. They are very passive aggressive while pretending that they are a support system to you. Then this business about Porsha could have ruined her engagement. And then Porsha says, well, you played a part in potentially maybe ruining your engagement because I kissed Candy in the club. You kissed Candy in the club. Did y'all see how she didn't deny that? Did y'all see how that was just glazed over? I said, oh, okay. Where's Gerald? Is he watching this? Because it's giving that it wasn't all lies. Shamea keeps insisting that people are coming up to her and asking her questions, and I simply do not believe any of this. She continues to lean into this victimhood. This is the role, this is the archetype that she likes to play. And I'm just so fucking sick of this perpetual victimhood. By the way, shout out to my makeup today. I have on Pat McGrath on the eyes, and this is MAC Icon. I'm obsessed with this lipstick. It's like a bronzy gold. Obsessed. Obsessed. Then Kelly says to Shamea, this is your moment to tell Porsha how you really feel about things. And Porsha says, no, the moment to tell me how you felt about me was when we had a sit down at the dinner table. No, I feel like the time to tell Porsha how you feel was all of these years that you all have been in a friendship together. Hello? Things only came to a head at the dinner table. Things had gotten so bad that eventually y'all had to talk about it, but it should not have gotten out of hand to that extent. I'll be honest with y'all. I do understand why Porsha is exhausted of Shamea and dismissive of her because I feel the same way. Look at her behavior. I don't understand how anyone could sustain a relationship or a friendship with somebody like Shamea. I find her absolutely insufferable. I really, really do. Then for Kelly to say that I think that Britt and Porsha's friendship is very calculated and Britt can care less about what you got going on. Speaking of calculated friendships, didn't you tip through to the pool with Shamea in matching bathing suits? Like y'all are that, you know that emoji where it's like the two girls standing beside each other and they're kind of like, they have their legs kicked out. So you can't tell me that that was not a calculated move on your behalf, Kelly. Like, oh, I don't want to dress up. I don't want to match with Britt anymore. I'm going to match with Shamea now. I'm going to show her.
The state of love, bonding, trust, real friendship.
So as much as Kelly want to call somebody else's friendship performative, I think your friendship with Shamea is performative. I do. So then Andy is asking, well, where do you guys stand now? And Porsha says, I have nothing else to offer this. And Shamea is silly ass going to say, well, that's the difference between you and me, because even when I didn't have the bandwidth, I still showed up for you. You think that makes you look like a noble person? Do you think that that makes you look virtuous? It makes you look like a fucking clown. Let me just give y'all a word of advice. If you don't have the bandwidth, if you don't have the capacity to show up for somebody, it's best that you just be honest. There are so many times where I've had to just tell a friend, like, hey, sometimes I'll kind of just fall off the radar because I don't have the capacity or the bandwidth. I will circle back to this when I do have it. It's so important to say that to a friend. Instead of manipulating them, instead of overextending yourself, instead of saying, well, I didn't even have the bandwidth for this and I still showed up. Did nobody tell you to do that? It's nobody else's fault that you cannot set proper boundaries for yourself. That's your own doing. And it just feeds into the manipulative, people-pleasing culture, because people-pleasing is a way of manipulating. I'm saying this as like a recovering people-pleaser. When you are overextending yourself, you're trying to come off a certain way. You're trying to manage people's perceptions of you. And that is manipulative, and it's not fair to you or anybody or your friendships. So there's that. Shamea thinks that this makes her look like a noble person. It makes you look like a dunce. We are watching you with the dunce cap. Girl, it's not cute. Stop it. And then you're still saying that, oh, well, the difference between me and you is even when I didn't have the bandwidth. Did you watch this season? Did you watch the season? And you're still saying that? Baby, the fact that Andy told Shamea when you feel a certain way, you have to figure out a way to vocalize it because it's diverting into a million different ways. Andy had to tell Shamea to grow some pussy lips and stand on business. He said this is the backbone of an honest relationship. Then Shamea starts crying because she wanted to lean into her victimhood archetype again. She starts saying something about, well, you know, I do that even when I don't have it to do. And I just, really. And then Andy cuts her off. As soon as she starts crying, he says, well, where did that land you? I said, yes, ma'am, Andy. Get her. That was such a delicious moment for me, y'all. He did not coddle her whatsoever, and I'm just so glad that he did not. We get to Drew's package. We see Ralph cutting up and Porsha's accusations and nasty rumors. Drew's kids are all in therapy, so shout out to her for that. Drew said that when she went up to Anaya's school, the lady that Ralph is dating approached her and mean mugged her. Now, why the fuck would this random woman be at your child's school when she hasn't been introduced to the mother of your child? What are we doing here? Ralph, I really do feel like you need your ass beat. Listener question. None of the women have checked on Drew or showed her much compassion. It seems as though everybody is quick to show Porsha compassion over her divorce. Then Kelly is going to open up her mouth and say, well, I was really hoping that you and I could have hit it off a little bit more. And I think towards the end, we had more of a connection. And then you see Angela and Drew looking at each other like this and kind of giving each other a smirk. Drew says it sounds good, but you didn't even give us a chance. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, because remember at the bank dinner, whenever Kelly was accusing Drew of not buying anything at her event, Kelly started calling her a liar at every turn, and it was so clear that Kelly never gave Drew a chance. And it seemed like because Porsha and Shamea were piling on her, she decided it was a good idea too. So she's a follower and a vile little nasty person as well. And I'm so glad that Drew's not buying this shit. Like, you had so much time to get to know this girl, and you came straight out of the gate with some nastiness, when in reality, she was going through a divorce. Maybe she couldn't pay for some random Balmain shit. Maybe she just couldn't. Then Kelly gonna sit up on the reunion couch and act like she was all offended because, oh, the proceeds were supposed to go to, imperfecta genetic, whatever her kid's disorder is called. Girl, only 10% of the proceeds were going to this disorder anyway. So what the fuck are you talking about? Damn clown. Like, not only that, but for Kelly To be sitting up here talking about, oh, you didn't buy this and you didn't pay for this and that. Kelly, you can't even pay your own fucking bills, bitch.
Insufficient funds.
Them people are coming after you for back rent. But you want to jump up and get an IV for Britt and her nigga. Then you want to throw a dog party for Cha-Cha. You want to take this motherfucker to the spa. You know what? I really cannot stand people like Kelly because they always want to pocket watch everybody the fuck else. Meanwhile, you're not even paying your own fucking bills. You can't pay your bills. Shamea, why was it okay for you to twist Drew's words? Shamea said, well, I should mind my business and keep my mouth closed. And Drew was like, yeah, you really should. Shut her ass up again. And then Shamea starts going back and forth and swinging her bob and talking about Porsha again. And Drew said, well, here she go again, child, fighting for her life in this friendship. I said, ooh.
Is a fantastic talent. These people should shut the fuck up, back the fuck off, and let this woman just shine her light, because she is fantastic.
Drew is clearing the girls. This was Drew's reunion, if you ask me. This was Drew's time to shine, and I love to see it. I love, love, love it. Then we get this listener question about, why are you setting up this meeting with Porsha and Ralph, but you're mad when people call you a lapdog, Shamea? And then Shamea starts lying again, saying that since Drew was calling me a lapdog, I wanted to lean into it. Shamea, whenever this shit first happened, you said that you wanted to meet up with Ralph on a business tip because he had a podcast he wanted to discuss with you. It was because you wanted to be Porsha's henchman. That was what that was. You see how the trash came to pick stuff up when I started talking about Shamea? I also didn't like how Porsha tried to be dismissive of Drew's divorce process, talking about, oh, well, what you're promoting on the show, we don't know what's true. Porsha, you can shut the fuck up too, because your whole divorce, your whole relationship, all of that shit was a sham and fake as fuck. And anytime that I see you crying and, you know, recreating the narrative, and I saw the little photo shit that you did pretending you were Bernadine. No, girl, you were Robin. You're Robin from Waiting to Exhale. You're not Bernadine. So I don't even know why People Magazine approved of that, because they clearly don't watch this show. Then Andy is asking Drew why she didn't claim Black to shut down the Dennis rumors. And Drew says, listen, Dennis is not even my type. And Porsha says, well, Black ain't all that either. Porsha, we have never seen you with a man that looked like anything. Actually, one time. Whenever Candy was calling Porsha a freak.
She wanted to have sex with her husband, too. You freak. You know you did it. Lying ass freak hoe. That's what you are. You got a freak hoe sitting next to you.
Freak
Better
asshole
watch
or
out.
whatever she was calling her. I thought that Porsha's dude, I think his name was Todd. I think he was cute. That was the only cute nigga that Porsha has ever brought around. Everybody else looked like a foot. So I don't trust Porsha's taste. The men come out. Shamea said that Gerald is at home with his kids. Okay, girl. I don't like that Dennis was saying that I assumed Drew was going to handle the conversation with Porsha, and I talked to Ralph about it because, you know, you were going to handle the lady side of things. That's your baby mother. You were inside of her. Y'all have a child together. So don't try to act like, oh, this is a lady's conversation and I want to stay out of women's business. That's your child's mother. Porsha and Drew start going back and forth, and then Kelly jumps in to say, you're still not going to take accountability.
I know we. Shut the fuck. Shut. Did I say no? Oh shit! Say it again. Say something else. Oh, say something else. Say something else, nigga.
Then this question about these text messages, alleged text messages between Drew and Dennis that nobody has receipts on. Nobody has a single screenshot from this alleged conversation. Y'all know how Porsha lies by now. Then this question of, it's been said, Dennis, that you took Britt out on a date. You brought her diamonds, you bought her a necklace, and you slid into Kelly's DMs. I am so glad that Andy mentioned this. Dennis said that Kelly didn't tell the full story. And Kelly said, well, what's the full story? Dennis said that he's a gentleman. Oh, okay. Anyway, Porsha, I just want to know, where was the smoke for Kelly? You had all that smoke for Drew, but none for Kelly. And then Kelly wanted to say, oh, we only talk business.
Lies, lies, and more lies, and lies on top of lies.
Everyone is always talking about the lies that Drew tells. I said this before and I'll say it again. There are no victims in any of the lies that Drew tells. Andy is asking Ralph if he ever apologized to Drew's mom for the comments he made on Twitter, and he just starts rambling. And I know this is what he does with Drew. You ask one simple ass question and he starts rambling and going on and on and on, trying to divert from the actual question. Andy is speaking to the perception people have of Charles based on how he showed up this season. Charles says that he doesn't like to put on for the cameras. So the ladies mentioned that they didn't know that they were married. He said, Shamea said that I met her, but I really met her for the first time on the show. Then Shamea says, oh, wait a minute, I met you several times and you may not remember. Shamea, he meets thousands of people all the time. Then they show this picture of Gerald and Charles Oakley taking a picture. Yeah, because it's Charles Oakley, the legend. That don't mean he has a relationship with you. That doesn't mean that he knows you. It doesn't mean that he even met you. Maybe he even met you, but that doesn't mean that you know him or know him enough to speak to, oh, well, I've never seen him with his wife, or I don't know. You know, the way that they were carrying on and being messy. So I'm so glad that Charles clocked them. Charles said, I was there. That's not meeting me. I said, get her, Charles.
Get her, Jade.
So glad that he cleared her, because what these girls were trying to insinuate is, oh, I met Charles and I've been around him and I hung out with him and I've been in his circles and he never mentioned his wife. Now all of a sudden it's we met at a wedding. Girl, you met the man one time and you don't know shit about him. How would you know that he's married? Are we going to sit up here and act like when you meet somebody in a casual setting, you're going to know everything about them and know everything about their relationships? And like, what the fuck? So, see, this is the point. You said that to say what? You were saying that to be a bitch.
Bitch. A nasty, vile gutter snipe. Right up out the hood.
Shamea. Just like Phaedra was insinuating what she was saying to be a bitch as well. Shamea lies again and says that she didn't mean, what she said to Angela as a dig. I really cannot stand her, for real. Why does she lie like this? When she could just apologize and say, you know what, I was being a little bit vicious. I was being a little bit mean. I could respect that more. I could honestly respect her owning it more. Then this question of, did you know Phaedra? And Phaedra says, well, I've been in several rooms with him. And she starts kind of stuttering. Here goes that stutter again. She says, oh, well, I know Sheree very well. And I remember when y'all were a couple. What does this have to do with you saying that you know that man when you really didn't? So just because my friend is dating somebody, that means that I know that man that she's dating? I'm so glad this conversation was had, because Phaedra is sitting there stuttering, looking stupid. Shamea is sitting there stuttering, looking stupid. It was so satisfying to my spirit to bear witness to that moment. It was delicious, y'all. Then Phaedra says, well, I've been in your presence on numerous occasions. And Charles said, where? She started stuttering again. Baby, when I tell y'all, Charles came and ate the girls up. He did exactly what he needed to do, and I loved it. I loved it so much. Shout out to Charles Oakley. Charles said, why everybody want to know about me? Where y'all husbands at? Ate they asses up again. Y'all, when he said that, I almost caught the Holy Ghost. So this question of when he dated Sheree came up, and I really didn't like how Angela was trying to downplay their relationship, saying, oh, well, y'all wasn't monogamous, were you? Angela, why are you worried about whether or not he was monogamous to some bitch in 2005, 2006, when he was never even monogamous with you? Now you trying to downplay it like, oh, you wasn't monogamous with her and it wasn't that serious, was it? He took her to Dubai. They was jumping on planes together. He really dated Sheree. Now, if Sheree come on here and start cutting up with your ass, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear it. Because as far as I was concerned, you and Sheree was going to be good. Y'all was going to be good. But see, you see the shit that Angela does? That was a dig. I don't know if y'all noticed it. I don't know if y'all caught it, but y'all need to go back and watch that scene if you didn't. When Sheree come down here and jump on your ass, you're going to know why. I really don't like shit like that. It's like, you are married to the man now. What the fuck does it matter if he was monogamous to Sheree or not? Oh, well, y'all weren't seriously dating, were y'all? That energy is way different from the way you was acting at Watch What Happens Live when you was acting all meek and mellow. Well, I don't know if they dated. I think they dated. It's the fact that he's claiming her is what your problem is, Angela. You're married to the man now, but you're still insecure, clearly. Charles, this rumor about the side baby, how do you feel about that? Then he tells a story about how Angela went up to Wendy Williams talking about, oh, well, a side baby is okay and don't worry about it, when in reality Angela was referencing how she was a doormat to her first baby daddy and she was willing to stick around because he had a side baby on her. So this whole side baby rumor is all Angela's fault because you wanted to jump up and go and insert yourself into somebody else's fucking business. And not only did you insert yourself in Wendy Williams' business, you were being out of order. You're out of order. You don't go up to a woman and say, it's just a baby. That's like saying, oh, it's just a soul you're bringing into the world. It's just a spirit. What the fuck? So I'm kind of glad that, you know, you had to reap what you sowed in terms of the shit that you was stirring up. You don't go up to that man's friend and say, oh, well, it's okay that he had a side baby. The fuck are you on? Kelly says to Ralph, I would like to know what my ex-husband told you. And then she says, I think that it's amazing that you still have a man and a husband that wants to still take care of his children. Kelly giving this man who is nasty and manipulative and emotionally abusive to Drew credit for simply taking care of his kids. When I tell you the bar is in fucking hell, why are you giving this man credit for something that he's supposed to be doing? And I just have this thing where I feel like when a father is nasty to the mother, mistreating the mother, emotionally abusive or otherwise, I don't believe that he's a good father. Because I don't feel like making a child's mother feel that way is you being a good parent to that child. Because you're harming their mother. So I don't want to hear this, oh, he's such a good dad shit. And not only that, you don't know what the fuck is going on in their household. So you can't speak to him being a good father. All you see is this man being in the house with his kids. But you want to speak to this because you want to take a dig at your ex-husband for not showing up for his kids. You shouldn't even want him to be around your kids, stupid bitch. That fucking abusive Mucinex blob that you were married to threatened your life in court. Why would he be around your kids? Kelly really is a dumb bitch. But I need you to shut the fuck up when it comes to other people's families and their dynamics and marriages. You shut up, Kelly. Right, so I'm at my closing thoughts part, y'all. The girls reflected on the season. I thought that it was really sweet that Angela, you know, she kind of had this conversation with Andy at the beginning. Like, why was I chosen? Why do you guys choose me? And then for her to come out on top as the fan favorite. I really thought that that was sweet. And I love that she got to, you know, have that moment for herself. Shamea says that she hopes that she can build alliances with all the ladies. Is this Big Brother? Is this Survivor? Is this Traitors? Is this Real World Road Rules Challenges, the Gauntlet? Anyway, y'all, that was the reunion. That was RHOA. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and hit the like button for me on the way out. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And get down in the comments with me. You already know that I want to hear from you, okay? And I just want to say thank you to all of my supporters who came this way from RHOA. Anybody who showed up to support me during this franchise. I love you so, so much. One more thing. I just wanted to give everybody a shout out who showed me love on the record snippet that I played for you all. You guys just made me feel so special and like I really have a gift. And like I really need to be doing this So thank y'all so much for the love and support. I'm back in the stew. I'm working on my EP, so I will definitely keep y'all updated on that, and I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.
He want that honey velour, said he need a encore.